with music. What's the difference, and you may insult country music if you wish, what's the difference between Rachmaninoff or Bach and Achy Breaky Heart? And for those out there in video land, I like all three of those.
What was the first one you said?
It could be Rachmaninoff.
He's a composer.
Rachmaninoff, the theme?
I'm not a piano major.
Oh, okay.
I play piano.
So sorry. Okay. Your voice?
Mm-hmm.
Voice major?
Worship leadership.
Worship leadership. Oh, okay. I need a music major. I need a music. Okay. Okay. We've got two. What's the difference between Achy Breaky Heart, Bach's Prelude to Fugue in C, or you could choose Rachmaninoff's? I like the theme from Paganini because I'm sentimental, but will Achy Breaky Heart be around in?
No.
No? No? Why not? Why is Bach still around?
Back.
Bach was a genius
Oh!
at what
Okay.
he did and the way he created the pieces that he did.
Mm-hmm.
He put so much effort into each chord, basically.
Okay.
So
So it's because he worked real hard.
But for me, it's like there's more meaning behind it. Like he worked hard towards it, and it wasn't like with hard work there was like love and like even there was like just passion in it.
wait, but
Achy Breaky Heart is just
so y'all are saying that like not? I mean, just
Well,
kind
I
of
mean,
different to a style.
The
Like
person
Billy
who
Ray
wrote
Cyrus,
Achy
like
Breaky
he
Heart
did.
had passion too,
Yeah.
obviously.
I
So, I mean, there's still passion behind that one too.
Right? It's different though.
I guess that, like Bach, you would put, to a different person, it would be different emotions, whereas Achy Breaky Heart, you're like, oh, it's heartbreaking.
yeah, that too.
Okay.
You've only got a
It
few.
makes you think.
You've only got a few of Bach's and all those, but there's a million Achy Breaky Hearts. Like, I mean,
That's true.
that's not a rare thing.
And something that it's something that it's
Yeah.
okay. What you're saying is that there are millions of Achy Breaky Heart people, and I admit that, you know, because
But
there's
there's millions of Bach's been around forever.
there's not millions of Bachs. You're saying they're not.
Are you saying million Achy Breaky Heart songs?
Yeah, there's
Bach
lots.
wrote over about like all these.
No. But there are bazillions of people who
Artists.
right. It's kind of like Daniel Steele as opposed to
Oh,
Shakespeare.
I thought you meant songs. I'm like, no, you wrote a lot.
No, I mean, Bob wrote a lot, but there's something common, as in vulgar, about pop stuff.
It's common.
It's common. Now, meaning it appeals to people on just kind of a base level. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I mean, I like Achy Breaky Heart.
Yeah.
I prefer other things. But there's something specific perhaps to the age or to the individual or to a particular class or something like that. The greats like Bach convey truth. We would argue that they are conveying truth or some part of truth that stretches over cultures,
Yeah.
that stretches over gender, that stretches over time. And so Bach can address these issues for a long time.
Yeah.
Right. And the same sort of thing with Michelangelo, we would hope. The problem is, just like in the room the women come and go talking of Michelangelo, the interesting thing is that Michelangelo is revealing something about humanity. I mean, he's showing us the reality. There's this return to realism with Michelangelo, you could say. I mean, not realism, well, yeah. Naturalism, humanism. But there is this reality in the human form that he presents, unlike, say, the medievals who don't really get the shape right and that sort of thing. So you've got this appeal to the realistic humanity that should move one. You know, you should be able to look at Michelangelo and go, oh, that's what the human condition is, regardless of what era you're in. These people aren't looking at it for that reason. They're just saying, oh, how the shading and the light play and the blah, 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 and using the nice little terms that they learned in art appreciation or something. But what you want is to find, and honestly, I took a group, took half a dozen students to Italy and Greece several years back, and I haven't experienced it quite with most of it, because after a while it's just, there is another church with more beautiful art. You just get saturated.
Yeah.
But I walked in and I walked into this church and I did not know I was going to see Bernini's Teresa in Ecstasy, and I came around the corner and there's just this incredible statue, just incredible, and I just couldn't breathe. It was just, you just have to be surprised by it. Sometimes you just have to be surprised by art. And it's like you see the passion and you experience the passion. And that's what great art does that the comic strips don't. You'll laugh about Peanuts or Funky Winker Bean or whatever for a day or two. You will enjoy Achy Breaky Heart for a while, but it'll get old. But Bach, you can listen to forever. Chopin, I'm not so sure about. Bach, yes. But it's like those are the things that address the human condition, that there's a profundity to it, a greatness to it, and that's what these people are missing, because they won't let themselves get beyond. They have pigeonholed Michelangelo even, because as we see at the top of 2077, for I have known them all already, known them all, have known the evenings, mornings, afternoons. I have measured out my life with coffee spoons. If you know one line for the rest of the semester, know that one. Because everything, you can't measure out Michelangelo. You can't measure out David or those statues that were halfway done. You've got people kind of rising out of those stone pieces. You can't measure that out with coffee spoons. You can't measure out Dostoevsky with coffee spoons, or these great moving things. And so I know the voices with the dying fall beneath the music from a farther room. So how should I presume? And I have known the eyes already, known them all, the eyes that fix you in a formulated phrase. And when I am formulated sprawling on a pen, when I am pinned and wriggling on the wall, then how should I begin to spit out all the butt ends of my days and ways? How should I presume? What is this business of the eyes that fix you in a formulated phrase when I am formulated sprawling on a pen? What does it mean to be formulated and sprawling on a pen? Have you ever been formulated and sprawling on a pen? Not literally. So what does he mean figuratively?
I'm trying to figure that out. And
when the eyes, read me the line.
yeah, well, the part where it's just sprawling on a pen, I don't know about formulated, but sprawling is like taking up a lot of space, right?
Okay, but what is it? I know that some of you have taken the pens and made things pinned and wriggling. Well, maybe not wriggling, but don't you remember there was a homework assignment, I'm sure, in about the 6th grade where you had to.
Oh, are you talking about where you take like the bark of a tree and you like rub over?
A pin, A-P-I-N, not a pen, a pin, and you stick the thing on the board and you formulate it. Well, close, like a family tree, but what would you, oh, come on.
Like you pierced it?
Pardon?
You pierced it?
You pierce something, a whole bunch of them, you collect them in the 6th grade.
Oh, the bugs.
The bugs, yes.
Oh,
What?
bugs? What about collect bugs?
Y'all didn't collect bugs?
I don't know.
That's what she's talking about, bugs? Like you pin the
I've
bugs,
done
like
that.
pinning the butterflies and stuff? I've never done that.
Okay, how many of you you didn't have to do the 6th grade project where, you formaldehyde the bugs or you make them die, and then you have to put all the
Yeah, I did that.
here and
I
that.
did a worm, I think.
I dissected a worm. I did that.
You did that?
Yeah.
Okay, some schools are still, were you homeschooled or?
I wasn't.
You were not? Okay, so there are, you went to school up north. Okay, there's some schools that are still doing this instead of like bug rights or something. Bug rights, stick on a thing. But what did you have to do?
Well, you have to catch the bug and then obviously kill it.
Okay.
called, and then like you like pinned it
Okay.
on a page, and then like you labeled it like what kind of bug it was.
You labeled it to find
know
out
what
what
it
kind of bug it was, right? And some people who collect butterflies do the same thing, and they put all of this kind over here on this page, and all of that kind over there on that page, right? So, what is he saying? If he has been pinned and he's wriggling on a wall, what have they done to him?
They dissected him.
Put him on the spot.
They put him,
What's labeled him and
labeled him. Yes, they figured out exactly who he is. And look at this. He says, I have known the eyes already, known them all, and then they will do the same thing to him. They label him. They classify him. It's a very scientific approach, right? Where's the soul and all of that? Okay, you are this age, you come from this zip code, you wear these kinds of clothes, and so he goes to this salon or this, book club, or do y'all know where Carpe Diem is?
Yeah.
Okay, who goes to Carpe Diem?
That's close to my church.
What? It's close to your church?
Oh.
Why do people go to Carpe Diem?
For coffee and discuss.
And to discuss, right? Don't you feel just very collegiate
Yeah,
when you're
I
sitting
split
there
that.
talking about books? And why do you think when they used to have Barnes and Noble at the mall, why do they have the coffee shop where you can see into it and you can see all the people sitting there? Do they play,
That'd be jazz.
okay, what games do they have at Barnes and Noble, or did they used to have? Did they have
Apples to apples.
apples to apples,
We had
or
checkers at my
or maybe checkers or chessboard, but would they have Hungry Hippo? It just doesn't look nice, right? It's not posh.
It doesn't fit in the